Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Midas Cosmetics and Smokey Glow collab, specifically the eyeshadow palette and the 3 glosses that came in the set. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, hang tight and we're going to be getting into it right now. So the first thing I want to do is talk to you a little bit about the products that are offered. Midas and Smokey Glow came together to develop a palette. They developed a duo of highlighters and they developed 3 glosses. When I was looking at the entire kit, I was thinking about buying the full PR box. However, when I looked at the highlighters, I wasn't entirely sure that those were going to work for my skin tone since I am on the fair side. So I opted to go without that and I just picked up the glosses in the palette. When I got my package, it did come with a little picture of Smokey Glow, and then there is a little card and a note from her on the back. The palette itself is $36, contains 1.26 ounces of product. Looks like this. It is, looks like this. It is cruelty free and has a 24-month shelf life. It comes with a bomb mirror, and then it has 18 shadows here, which I will try to give you a close-up on those bad boys. So before this palette came out, I didn't even know who Smokey Glow was, and honestly I saw a post about the palette and I got super excited for the palette again without knowing who Smokey Glow was. I ended up going to her channel and taking a look at the reveal video that she did with some of the swatches and things, and I got so excited for this palette because I've really been in like a pinky purple mood recently, and so this really spoke to that look more so than some of the other palettes that were releasing around the same time. Now initially this was set to release around Valentine's Day and ship out around the same time, and so it really made sense to have that pinky purple vibe. The other palettes I was looking at around that same time, one of which was the Natasha Denona Love palette, and this spoke to me more than that did, on top of which it's a better price, and so I was really more excited to get this one. The shade that like 100% sold me on this particular palette is Dofa, which is in this bottom corner here, and I don't know if I'll be able to get a good swatch for you to see, but if you, ooh, I think I can. When you look at it, it's brown and then it has this sort of like burgundy wine reflective glitter in it, and it is so pretty on the eyes that like as soon as I saw it I was like, need this palette, end of story, need to have it, when can I order it? And when I went out to their website it was out of stock, and so I was so bummed, but they did end up doing a mini restock for some of the people that had canceled their initial pre-sale order because of the delay in shipping because of Corona. This is manufactured in China, and so they did have some shipping delays. I will say that Rocio, who owns Midas Cosmetics, and Smokey Glow were both very good at coming forward, providing a lot of communication and feedback so that customers knew when things might be shipping. They knew what the delays were caused by. For some of the people that ordered on that very first pre-order day, they actually included a small gift, which was like a makeup bag to sort of compensate for the wait that they had, which they definitely didn't need to do, but I thought it was a really nice sort of customer service touch. So because of that shipping delay and because some people chose to cancel their orders, I was able to get one of the original palettes that has the misspelled shade. So if you look, colleague is not spelled correctly, and I'm sure that's a point of embarrassment for Smokey Glow and Midas Cosmetics. However, I kind of find it a little bit endearing, and I'm kind of excited that this is like a truly limited edition item, just because obviously they went back and corrected that for the subsequent palettes. So this palette is $36, which I do think is a fair price, although there are a lot of collaborators. Teresa's dad and Smokey Glow both have coupon codes you can use to bring, is it 20% off, I think? Maybe 30%, I'm not sure. But it was a good chunk that you could get off of any of the products in this collection. So I would definitely encourage you to use one of those coupon codes when you're making your purchase. And then the lip gloss trio, which they came in like cute little packaging, but of course, like a barbarian, I threw that away already. But these are the 3 shades. Let me see if I can get that to focus. These are the 3 shades, and they were $25 for the 3 shades. So the pros for the palette, there's not a ton of fallout, and I will do a demo this look actually, so you can see that there really wasn't any fallout that I had to clean up with the shades, even the vibrant shades that I used in order to finish then applying the rest of my makeup. The shadows are super pigmented, and you can definitely build them to a deep opaque kind of intense color, but if you go lightly, use a fluffy brush, sheer things out, you can definitely do more of like a softer pastel kind of look as well. And I did try to do some looks that were both bright and bold, and then some that were a little bit calmer, so that you could see the versatility for this palette, because when you look at it right away, I don't think people would look at this and say everyday wearable versatile shades. I love super pigmented looks, obviously, and so I don't mind that, but I do want people to realize that you can do those types of looks with this palette too. The shimmer and topper shades are really, really pretty in this. The Nutty shade, which is that blue-white duochrome flip topper, when I first saw that in the palette, I was like, that's stupid, it doesn't match anything, I'm not going to use that shade. But then as I've started incorporating it as like an inner corner highlight or all over the lid on a black base, it really is transformational, and it looks so, so pretty. So I would definitely encourage you to give that one a try if you pick up this palette. Mirror is great, totally happy with that. I have used a couple of different things for our base. I've used a couple concealers, the Believe Beauty concealer from Dollar General's makeup line. I've used the e.l.f. the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I've used the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I've used ColourPop concealers. I've used the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I've not had any issues with blendability with any of those concealers using them as a base for these eyeshadows. As far as the lip colors go, I think they did a good job picking like a decent shade range. You've got this red one, which is more of an opaque red. You've got this soft kind of rosy color with a little bit of shimmer. That's what I'm wearing on my lips right now. And then you've got this color, which is like super, super vibrant, glittery kind of a shade. I feel like the one comment that I heard from other reviewers was that the glittery shades feel kind of gritty on the lips, and I did not have that same experience, so I'm not sure if it was just in terms of the volume of how much was being applied, or the fact that I used a lip liner first. Perhaps that, you know, helped with the comfort level for those shades. And I didn't notice any of that like stringy, gunky buildup that happens on the inner sort of corners of your mouth. I didn't notice that with this formula. So let's now talk about some of the cons. The first was I had to wait for my product, and I'm super impatient. I know this is like remarkable to you guys, complete surprise. You never would have expected that a makeup addict like myself would have trouble waiting for a product that they ordered online. I did find it a little bit of an inconvenience to have to wait for the product, but given the health circumstances surrounding what happened, I don't think it was anything that was in their control. And again, I think they did a great job with communication to help everybody understand what was going on so that they could make a decision about whether or not they wanted to continue with their order. The other thing that was a bit of a con for this is that this was my first purchase from Midas Cosmetics, and this is a pretty expensive first purchase. So if I ended up not liking the products, I would have been out a lot of money with no way to return them. Fortunately, that didn't happen, and I did end up really enjoying all the products that I purchased, but it was something that I had to bear in mind in terms of the risk I was taking. Now, the other thing that was a bit of a con at first to me was that the glosses were not being sold as singles, and when I was looking at them originally, I was truly only interested in this one, and then I was somewhat interested in this one, and I had absolutely no interest in the red. But now that I got all 3 of them, I actually do like how they look together, and I feel like it was a good trio to have. I'm happy with all 3. So in general, I don't see that as a con. My understanding from Rocio is that she's going to be offering the lip products as singles in the future when they do their full restock. That restock, I think, was originally slated for April, but with the current coronavirus situation, I'm not sure that it's actually going to be in April. It may be pushed out. The other con for this is just the actual applicator for these products. I feel like you have to dip into the applicator. You have to dip the applicator into the product several times in order to do a full application for your lips. So that's just something to bear in mind. I'm going to take some time to show you swatches of the palette and some close-ups of the lip color so you can see what those look like. To show you some of the looks you can do with this. Again, most of them are very highly pigmented, very deep, very bright and bold, but there are some softer looks as well, some sort of subtle looks. You can definitely go in more of a brown gold neutral direction with this palette as well, so that's something to bear in mind when you're looking to consider purchasing. I am also going to show you a demo of this particular look right here so that you can see how they apply and the capability that you have with these shadows, the ease of application. So this is the try-on portion. I wanted to show you guys a look, at least one that was not just a photo, but actually applying this palette and having a chance to put on the colors, show you how they blend and everything like that. So that's what we're going to do right now. So this is the outer packaging, and then the actual palette itself has this like beautiful like glittery kind of paper. It is coated though, so there's no glitter that's coming off on your fingers at all, which is nice. And then you have sort of this gold overlay of the actual text. So I really like this palette. I've done a couple of different looks with it so far, and I think by the time I get this video put up, I will have like almost 10, if not 10 looks to put together. But I really wanted to show you some of these colors. Like, there's so many good colors in here. I can hardly decide which one I really want to go for, but we're going to put a look together today. Hopefully everything will come together nicely, because I have to go to work after this. And if it doesn't come together nicely, some people are going to ask questions that I'm not prepared to answer. So the first thing I'm going to go in with is the e.l.f. Putty Primer. And I never used to do my eyes first, but now that I'm getting into like more colorful shadows, I'm definitely starting to do eyes first, because then if there's any fallout, you can kind of just wipe it away and move on with your life. And I do like this primer a lot. I've been testing out a couple different primers. My holy grail, like ride or die primer, has always been the Milani eye primer, because it's so like buttery soft. It almost just feels like a lotion or moisturizer that you're putting on. Fallout of mascara from yesterday. Delightful. Yesterday I used a black base with this palette, and I applied that duochrome topper shade Nutty over top of the black base, and it turned it like this electric teal blue. I'm not sure where that will be in the video compared to this, but it was super cool, and I'm really excited to show you guys that, because I think it's something very unexpected for this palette, because you would not look at a palette that is pinks, browns, golds, white, and say, I can make a blue eyeshadow look out of that. So it was definitely a really cool, interesting look that took me off the beaten path for this palette. Okay. And by the way, shout out to Tribe Beauty for the last box they did. They had this like, is this iridescent? Is it hollow? I don't know. Somebody will come for me in the comments. But anyway, so this was like the super cute bag that everything came with, which I used to bring all my brushes down. And then Midas Cosmetics also did a very similar bag. Theirs is more of like a travel case kind of bag. And I love that for bringing down like just a full face of makeup, to be able to do everything in front of a camera for you guys. So definitely awesome bags. Would look into those. The brush I was using is the Luxie 211. As a shout out to Smokey Glow, because I don't normally do this. I'm going to use the Luxie 207 medium angled shading brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Basic, which is the white shade, and just set everything down. Normally I would go in with something that's more my skin tone, or I don't set anything at all. But since she said this is what she does all the time, I'm like, you know what, why not, girl? Let's do it. Alright. So, I'm trying to use a lot of Luxie brushes, because I'm trying to figure out if I like them, don't like them, if I would recommend them. That video will be coming hopefully in the next couple of weeks, so you can look out for that one. Let's see here. Next thing I'm going to go in with is the Luxie 229 tapered blending brush, and I think I'm going to start with the orange shade here in the sort of top center, which is Jump Cut. It looks super orange in the pan, and I agree it can get really orange, but when you blend it out, like if you blend a little bit more gracefully, I think it makes like a really nice kind of peachy color. And I do like doing kind of peach on the inner corner, not inner corner, like the inner upper crease area, and then kind of blending it into like a pinker shadow this way, so it gives more of a gradient effect, and it makes it look a little bit more impressive, I think. Now I'm sure if you went in with a wet brush, or if you went in with like a dense packing brush instead of like a fluffier brush, you could really make that shadow like more intense, but I have to go to work today, remember, so I can't be looking like a crazy person, or they'll probably send me home. Although, who knows. I work in the healthcare field, so they kind of need all the help they can get right now. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I like how that looks. I'm going to take the Luxie 207 medium shading brush and go into Cold Brew and just kind of use that to blend out this upper part so it doesn't look quite as like stark white. I think in terms of my beauty routine, the thing that has hit me most about a lot of the closures and stuff for Corona has been the fact that I can't go get my brows done. So my brows are looking crazy right now, but I'm just trying to get through it because honestly there's way more important things right now. So going back with the 229 tapered blending brush, I'm going to go into the shade Rose, which is like this really bright, vibrant, like fuchsia pink, and it is super pigmented. So you need to go in with a very light hand or you are going to be wiping some stuff off and starting over. But if you see, like, you blend those two together, it makes sort of like soft to a pop, and I really like how that looks. I did something similar to this before with this palette, and I really liked how the look came together. And my goal is to get the, I think it's Group Chat? Yeah, Group Chat onto my lid and really make that color pop. Because it is super, super pretty. Do not appreciate how my eyes are not matching up, but we will make it work. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more Jump Cut, which is that orangey shade. Bring that out a little bit, make that a little more intense, kind of balance things out. Oh, that looks so pretty. It's so funny because when I looked at this palette originally, I was like, okay, of all the shades that are in there, definitely not going to use Jump Cut. And once I got the palette, I've discovered that I really like that as a good transition shade, because I don't necessarily like doing just like a regular brown transition shade and then going in with all these colors. Like, I'd rather just have some really nice bright colors, especially because I have hooded eyes. It gives me more real estate for more interesting looks. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is take the Luxie 213 eye shader brush, and it's more of like a dense kind of packer brush, and I'm going to take the shade Dofa, which is this bottom brown color. It's like, it looks brown, but then in certain lights it has like this burgundy shifting glitter over top of it, and I'm honestly obsessed. I think unless I intentionally choose not to include this shade has been a part of every single look I've put together since I got this palette. Which I got it like a good while ago because they had, I guess, some people from the original order cancel, and so then they did this like mini restock, and I was like, let me just order this palette right now because I'm really, really wanting to try it. I'd actually never heard of Smokey Glow before I saw this palette, and I saw the video for the palette, and then I was like, whoa, I need that palette. And this was one of the shades that really convinced me that I needed this palette. So then when it came up in that little mini restock, I was like, alright, where's my card? Okay, so I'm just doing that Dofa kind of in the outer sort of V shape, bringing it in just a little bit, smoking it out just a little bit. And then I'm going to take the Group Chat color, which is this color right here. This color, this Friends color, is sort of a peachier version of this Group Chat color. And then this Hello is sort of a similar shade, but a little bit less sparkly to this Group Chat color. But I really like all three of them. It's sort of that pink to gold, iridescent duochrome shifting kind of, like, look at that, oh my gosh. Like, it's just super pink, super vivid. Totally here for it. When I was thinking about putting together a look for this video, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to include this group chat color because it is so pretty. And I'm sure everybody that does a video on this palette is going to include that color, but it's really pretty, so I don't see why we wouldn't. I'm really liking how that's looking. You're gonna have to forgive my hair. I mean, it's just all over the place now, but I really like how that's looking. I've got a really nice shine there. I've got some deepening up of the shades. I've got a really nice sort of ombre effect going. Okay, so let me put this away for a moment, and I'm gonna work on building out the rest of my face. I did start using a caffeine-based spray from Makeup Revolution, and I really like that so far, but I've only used it about 2-3 times, but it's just like really refreshing. This is the Iconic Beauty Blur Stick from my Tribe Beauty box, the last one that we had, which was February's box, I think. It's a bi-monthly subscription, so that should be about right. I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I don't know why, honestly, because they discontinued this, I think. It is a really nice foundation, though, so I'm kind of bummed out that they decided to discontinue it. Holy smokes, Heather, what are you doing? And this is just a wet e.l.f. sponge I'm going to use to kind of blend things out here. Okay. I really do like the color. This is LC1 in case anybody's curious. Not that they produce this anymore, so it probably doesn't matter too much. But I do really like how this looks. I feel like it gives a really nice, like, soft, focused sheen to the face, so I'm here for that. And then the concealer I'm going to use is the Believe Beauty Concealer in Ivory. This is actually the makeup line exclusive to Dollar General. And I bought a whole bunch of stuff with the intention of doing a video. I filmed the video, I watched the footage, did not like it. So I ended up not posting it, but that product out of everything was probably my absolute favorite. I feel like the concealer is really nice. It's very moisturizing. They had a pretty decent shade range. You do have to use a fair amount of it, but I think the way it comes together looks really nice. Gives a nice finish. It doesn't get cakey. It doesn't like crease too bad on me. I mean, I do have a little bit of like fine lines underneath my eyes, but I don't feel like I end up getting those like grooves of concealer compared to the rest of my skin. And I used to set everything down with powder, but because I run on more like dry to normal, I've stopped doing that, and I feel like the makeup looks better throughout the course of the day since stopping that. So I'm not going to be setting anything down with powder at this point. Let's go in with bronzer next. I'm still trying out a couple of things from Flower Beauty. So I have the Flower Beauty Heatwave Bronzer. Hoping to do sort of a brand review for them. I'm using the Luxie 502 large powder brush. I really like large, fluffy, not too dense brushes for bronzer because I feel like it gives more of a diffused look to the skin instead of looking like super clumpy or unblended. And I'm gonna cheat and use that for a little bit of contour instead of getting out a contour powder. It's so funny, the only contour powder that I actually really gravitated towards was one that I got in some random BoxyCharm, and it's from a brand I've never heard of. Honestly, can't even remember the name at the moment. But it was a really nice contour kit, and I ended up keeping it through several declutters. Because I'm like, for 5 days a year I might actually get out a contour powder. It's a really good one. I did end up canceling my BoxyCharm, and I'll have to do some kind of explanation video at some point for that, but basically the drama was just getting to be a little bit too much, so I went ahead and kissed that subscription goodbye, and now I have the Try Beauty Box subscription, which I'm super excited about. They do more indie makeup, they do women-owned businesses, and I'm so excited. And they also put a little bit more thought into the actual combination of products, so they give you like a face product, a skincare product, and you know, a lip product, a beauty tool, so you get like a good variety of different things that you can use together, so it's not all just like, you know, a makeup palette and 3 eyeliners or something ridiculous. Okay. So then I'm going to go in with the Flower Beauty Pyramids blushes, these nude blushes. They are super pretty. There's this one, and then they have like a peachy one, but they are dangerously pigmented, like dangerously pigmented. So please be careful. This is the Luxie 514, and I'm going to try to go in and not completely ruin my makeup. And I've started just taking my blush like up here a little bit onto my temples. I don't know why, but I feel like it does kind of add a little something to the look. So something you can try when you're bored at home. So I'm sure you can see, like, I put my brush in very lightly. I tapped off a ton of excess, and still it's a very, very pigmented blush. I do like the color though. I do like the sheen of it. I think it goes nicely with the sort of cool tone pink we have in the outer corner, but definitely use caution. How's that? What do you guys think? Too much? Not too much? Of course, it probably looks a little better on the camera, but we'll see. So that's the Flower blush, and this is in the color Rose Glow. The other one is a peachy one. I want to say it's called like Peach Glow or something, but I'm not 100% sure, and it's upstairs right now anyway. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to use is the Flower Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. I'm sure if you watch any beauty YouTube, you've seen this one because everybody talks about it. I actually found it on sale the one day when I was walking through Walmart, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to bring that home with me. And I'm gonna try using a different brush than what I normally use for my highlight, and see if I can apply it with the Luxie 233 large fluff brush, and then sort of blend it out with the 512 small contouring brush. So absolutely neither of these is designed for any type of highlight, but I'm gonna give it a try anyway, because this should come on pretty dense, and then I'm hoping I can use the other one to kind of soften this out a little bit. And remember, I have to go to work later today, so can't look too insane, but it probably will because I'm obsessed with highlighter. Get a little Rudolph action right there. I don't know if people are still highlighting like their nose, but I literally just decided to start doing it very, very recently, and I really like how it looks, so I'll be the only one, I guess, but I'm cool with that. Okay, so that applied pretty well. I'm gonna use, like I said, that small contouring brush to kind of just smooth some of this out, make it look a little bit more natural, even though this is the least natural highlight I probably own. But that kind of helps it. What do you think? I actually really like how that looks now that it's kind of buffed into the skin. I might have to keep playing around with those and see if I can make that work. Yeah, okay, I'm cool with that. Alright, so then let's go in and fix these brows, because out of all the steps in my makeup routine, this is the step I forget the most often. And I'll be driving on my way into work and be like, why do my brows look so weird? Because they are not filled in at all. And it's funny, one of my coworkers the one day came in and she was like hiding her face when she walked in, and she's like, nobody look at me, I forgot my brows. And so then of course everybody looked at her, and you know, she and I started talking about the pros and cons of carrying like a full face of makeup in case you forget a step. Although I think brows and mascara are the only two that I've ever like walked out of the house and forgotten. And the one day that I forgot mascara, I had put on my mascara, like my lash primer, so I had like these violet white lashes, and then I was waiting for it to dry, got distracted, completely left my house on my way to work, and I was like, oh my god, I look insane. So I had to stop and get mascara from Walgreens. This is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil in 4.5. It's a little deep for me, but I like that it's a little bit more cool toned, so I tend to use that one instead of a lighter shade because of that reason. Now that we have the face kind of completed, or mostly completed, I'm going to go back in and do the under eye with this palette, get that squared away. I think what I'm going to do is take, oh goodness, see, this Luxie set does not have the kind of brush that I would want for underneath the eyes to be a little bit more light and gentle. They just don't have anything small enough, so I'm going to use the defined crease brush from Makeup Geek. And I'm not even sure that they still sell these, because I think they're trying to like do that whole rebrand, and I think they got rid of these brushes. Going in with Jump Cut here, that orangey shade. I think they got rid of these brushes and they're gonna like redo their brushes. I don't know. But I do really like this one, especially because I have smaller hooded eyes. I do like the precision that I can get with this brush. I'm gonna go in with that rose shade, and it's gonna be hella pigmented, I'm sure. Yeah, there we go. Okay, definitely like that. And then I'll take this little Royal Nickel. It's a BOM 18 detail brush. It's like a little smudgy packer brush, and I'm gonna go back in with Dofa and just smudge out the outer V. Smudge out the lower lash line, the outer side of my lower lash line. That looks super pretty. That looks pretty. I'm definitely down for that. Ooh, I didn't do an inner corner. You guys, you need to remind me of these things. Okay, so I have this Luxie 111 mini flat angled brush, and it's like this teeny tiny little flat angled brush, but I feel like it's perfect for getting into that inner corner. So let's take Friends and pop that into the inner corner. There you go. That gives like a nice brightness without sort of taking away from the depth of the lid color, because that's kind of what I want to be the star of the show. Okay, now we're finished with this palette. The other thing that works really nicely for an inner corner with this palette is that Nutty shade. It's the first one right here. And it is sort of a white to blue duochrome flip topper. I would highly recommend using that as an inner corner if you have not tried something like that before. It does give a really nice pop. It's hard to capture in pictures. I did do a couple of looks that have that as my inner corner pop, so hopefully you can see it a little bit in the pictures, but it does look super pretty on that. Okay. So then I'm going to use the Ico Sport Waterproof Eyeliner, and I got this in some subscription box at some point, but it actually has become one of my favorite eyeliners, even more so than the Urban Decay eyeliners, just because I feel like it stays in the waterline longer. And honestly, the only thing I don't love about this eyeliner is that it's like really, really long. So it doesn't fit in my drawer. Like the drawer I keep all my eyeliners in, I have to put it in at an angle to get it to fit in the drawer. Stupid reason to not like an eyeliner, but that's the only thing that I don't like about it. Okay. Happy with that. I just used one of the little Laura Mercier poofs to try to keep from smudging up my face. Let's do lashes. I'm gonna do what I normally do with my regular lashes, and then if I'm feeling super, super brave, we're gonna try some falsies. We'll see how brave I'm feeling. Obviously, at some point earlier today, I was feeling brave, or else I wouldn't have brought them down. But ooh, this is the Shiseido lash curler. It was a recommendation from another YouTuber, somebody, Rachel Loves Life, maybe Rachel Loves. I really do like that lash curler. It's really nice, and it has held up for like the 3 years or so that I've had it. This is the Violet one from Milani. It's a lash primer. Holy Grail is the Essence lash primer. Really, really like that one, and it's $5. I challenge you to find me a better lash primer. And then the Essence Lash Princess mascara in the green tube is my all-time favorite. And my lashes are being super clumpy and uncooperative today, of course. And it's funny, the lashes and the lash glue I have are both by Pure, and I was watching Jamie French, I think, last night, and she was saying how the Pure lash glue smells really bad, and I thought mine had just gone bad because I'm sure I've had it for a while. I don't remember when I bought it, and I thought it went bad because it was smelling bad, and she's saying no, that's just how it smells. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's still okay to use then. It hasn't caused me any irritation, thank goodness, but it definitely does smell a little funky. Alright, so that is the finished eye look. I do really like how that kind of comes together. It's bold, it's exciting. I like the cheek products. I think they balance things out really nicely. Let me just go in with a little setting spray, and then do we dare with the lashes? Maybe. This is the Skindinavia, the makeup finishing spray. And I'm definitely super excessive with my finishing spray. This collection did come with 3 glosses as well. You have this one in Sparkle On, which is like super, super bright glittery. You have this red one, which is called Hi Friends, and that's more of an opaque red. And then you have this one, which is called Never Dull, and it's sort of a rosy pink with a little glitter in it. I think I'm going to use that one because I think it's going to balance this look out the best. What do you guys think? Okay. Be brave. Alright, we're going to go ahead and try it. I'm going to try to use these Pure Pro eyelashes. They are 3D cruelty-free luxe lashes. Supposed to be 30 wears, assuming you don't flip out and throw them away. And it is in the style Bombshell. Let me see if I can get you a close-up on those lashes. So they're sort of long and wispy feathery instead of being super, super dense. I'm hoping that means that you'll still be able to see this eye look through them. Maybe. We'll give it a try. Guess today is all about being brave, right? It's not like a horrible, horrible smell, but it definitely kind of smells like when you get something that's been like new plastic and it's been wrapped up for a little bit, and so it has that really intense plastic smell. That's kind of what this smells like, and I'm sure it's very closely related to actual plastic, so I would not be surprised at all to find that out. So I just put a little bit of glue on here. I think this is the one that's supposed to dry clear. This is the Pure Pro eyelash glue. It's cruelty free, thank God. I'm not 100% cruelty free, but like once I figure out or find out about a specific brand, holy shit. Let's just do it with our finger. Wow, not even close, Heather. I see now why so many YouTubers apply these little jerks off camera, that's for sure. What do we think? They are ridiculously big. Okay. Let's try to put the other one on, because we might as well make this a matching set, right? You're gonna look completely insane. You might as well do it symmetrically. I don't know that these bad boys are gonna stay on for work, because wowzers, but well, at least put them on to give you guys something to smile about, right? So I used to use this little lash application tool all the time, and now like the more I try to apply my lashes, I seem to struggle with that tool, and then I end up just using my fingers to sort of roughly apply the lash. So I don't know, might have outgrown that little tool. There we go. 2 lashes. They are on my face. That's the best I can say at the moment. Alright guys, and I am back. This is the finished look. What do we think? Even with these ridiculously oversized lashes that probably do need trimmed a little bit, I actually really like the look. I love the ombre effect of getting the jump cut in 2 rows. I love this group chat shade, the Dofa shade that I put in the outer crease, and the Friends shade that I put in the inner corner does give a really nice soft kind of inner corner highlight without being too much. The face products I used, all Flower Beauty, definitely really happy with those. The lip glosses, I do like all 3 of them, but I think this Never Dull one, the one that I'm wearing, is my favorite. It's super close to my actual lip color, and I feel like when you have an eye as bold as this, you need to kind of calm down the lips so that it sort of gives you some balance. So all in all, you'll have to leave me in the comments what you think of this particular look and what you think of the other looks that I've put together with this palette. But I highly, highly, highly recommend this palette. Like, if you have not ordered it yet, pause my video, go online, order the palette, and then come back. I will still be here and I will not be hurt because you genuinely need to order this palette. It is a fantastic product. It has very good quality. There are discount codes out there, so don't forget to use them. Save yourself a little bit of money, but definitely get your hands on this product. As far as the lip products go, if you're interested in getting them, if you think they're shades that you'll wear, I do think that they're a good quality product, and I think you'll be satisfied with the actual product itself. But if you're only going to get one thing from this line due to cost, get the palette, skip the glosses. I can't speak to the highlighter formula. I've seen a couple different people review it at this point. Some, it looks really, really deep, like a medium to deep skin tone would do really well with that palette. Other people, it looks much lighter, so I'm not sure if it's their lighting that's changing that, but I really can't speak to whether or not that would work on lighter skin tones. My suspicion is that it would work more for deep skin tones. I do think the shades are really pretty though. One is more of a golden color, one's more of like a pinky toned, icy kind of color. I think if the quality is the same as the eyeshadow palette, you will not be disappointed in the formula for those particular items. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed putting it together. This is one of the first Get Ready With Me's I've filmed, so you'll have to let me know how things went down in the comments. If there's any other indie brands you think I should be looking out for, please let me know that as well. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on my next video. Bye!